Hello guys, Craig from Fix It Fellows, and today I'm here with the old classic family favourite Wii. So this is here we are, an RVL 001. Okay, now this unit is quite a few years old. We've had loads of family fun with it, and it still fires up fine, connects to the telly, get all of the Wii symbols on the screen, the menus, etc. But it will not take a disc anymore. It started off, it would take a disc, but the disc wouldn't spin. Now it won't actually even take the disc in. So I'm thinking, on the basis that I still get all of the Wii menu up on the screen, most of it's alright, I'm thinking it is just the disc kind of mechanism area that's kaput. And on a little bit of investigation, I found that you can actually buy a new disc mechanism for this for £19. So I've acquired myself one. This is it. Okay, that is it. That slot there is that slot there. So this is a new one. Looks like there's maybe 2 ribbons that I might need to disconnect. So without further ado, let's strip this down, take the old one of these out, get the new one in, and fingers crossed it'll all be fixed. Okay, before we go any further, I shall certainly be making use of this. This is my multi-function screwdriver set, because I know that these Wii's have some odd screw heads in there, and I think they're tri-wings, and tri-wings are ones like that. So whereas a Phillips head or Posi head has kind of 4 blades to it, this has 3. Now without a tri-wing bit, you are not gonna get your Wii to open up. So let's get on with it. The other thing to know is that there are a lot of screws. Some of them are plain to see and some of them are concealed. Some of them will be concealed beneath rubber feet, which we'll just try to prise off. And you'll also notice that there are these little white square stickers dotted around, and we'll be lifting them off to gain access. So without further ado, let's get on with it. Okay, so first of all, right, you've got your front of your machine there with a slot. We're going to the side to the left of the slot. So we'll open up these panels and then we will lift the panels away. Let's get them out of the way. Okay, put them over there to the side. We've now got this black side panel on, and there are 1, 2, 3 screw heads. They're very small. All the screws in this are very small. Now we're going to take them off. I believe they are Phillips headed. Yeah, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, so we'll get those off. There you go, 1 small black Phillips head. 2. And 3. Now, that third one that just come out of there is actually a bit longer than these 2. So it's best to put these on a bit of paper and write down next to them exactly what they're for. I'm using this little magnetic pad that come with the screwdriver set. Okay, try and remember an order in which you took these things out. Right, now we're left with the black panel to lift out. So it slots in at the bottom and then also slots in there. So we just lift it out and slide it away, put that over there somewhere safe, and there it goes. It reveals more screws. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now the top 2 are more Phillips headed. The bottom 2 are our tri-wings. Okay, so let's get those undone. Okay, we're now going to go to the other side. So looking at the machine, you've got your slot, we're going to the right hand side. So to start with on this side, we have this one here. This is actually where there is a coin battery in there. This one's a very small Phillips head. Okay, the tray comes out, it retains the screw in it, and there's the coin cell battery. Okay, so that reveals a tri-blade screw there, tri-wing screw there, and then we'll also have to take off some of these rubber feet and some of these white stickers as well. Okay, so we're going to take off this rubber foot here. I'm just using a little scalpel to get underneath and prise up the rubber foot. It's just stuck on there. It will come off. There we go, that one's off. And that reveals another screw, which I believe is a small Phillips head. And we'll get that one out of there. Okay, it's black and long as well, like the one on the opposite side. Okay, now we'll prise up one of this plastic sticker here. We'll just slide the scalpel underneath. Put the sticker somewhere safe so we can put it back on. Okay, that has revealed a Phillips head screw. Silver, put that there in the same category as the black one we just took out. And then we remove this sticky label here. For another Phillips head screw. Remove this one from here. This is a tri-wing. So the general pattern is that the tri-wing screws are along the lower edge and the top edge has posi Phillips headeds. Okay, you don't need to remove those two rubber feet there. There are no screws behind it. So there is 1, 2, 3, 4 and the thing on the coin tray, and we will leave that screw there just for the moment because that's holding this front tray in place. Now we need to flip it over so we see the underside. This little white sticker here. Okay, that was a rectangular sticker as opposed to a square one. That reveals a black-headed screw there. We'll also remove the corresponding sticker from this side. Now with the slot facing you and the underside of the machine sticking up, you've got these rubber feet, and then we're going to remove this foot here. Okay, and put the foot there somewhere safe. That reveals a deep hole there with a screw at the bottom of it, and we'll do the same for this rubber foot over here. Again, another deep hole with a screw at the bottom of it. Okay, now we can take out these screws here and here. Now these ones here are quite deeply recessed. I believe they are tri-wing. Okay, that's the two from the deep recesses. Now we're going to remove these two black ones from the front. And then we remove this silver tri-head from the side where the coin slot was, coin battery slot. Put that with the screw for the other screws from that side. So now the front should come away, but take care because there is a small couple of wires there that connect to an LED on the front. Okay, if you want to, you can unclip the plug out of there if you want to put that away. I'm just going to leave it on there for the moment. Now we should be able to lift the top cover away now. And there we see the white plastic cover has come away. And that reveals a metal casing that goes over the CD mechanism. Now that isn't held in at all now because all screws holding that in place have been removed, so we can just pull up the side. Okay, work one side up at a time. And there we go, off comes that. It's kind of like a heat shield, I think. And now we can actually see that CD drive mechanism. So there's the old mechanism and there's our new one. Okay, now we need to remove the mechanism from the unit. And there are 4 screws that are screws that go through like rubber footings to give the DVD drive some sort of suspension. So there are 2 screws here and 2 screws down through the cage there and there. These ones are Phillips heads. Out comes the first one. They have kind of a that pan head's got an inbuilt washer on them. All 4 are the same. It really makes a big difference if your screwdriver bit is magnetized because it enables you to lift out the screws from their recesses. Okay, so you like that. So the good thing about this multi-tool kit that I've got is got this little magnetizer, demagnetizer. So if you find your screwdriver bit isn't that magnetic, you can just stick it in the magnetizer slot and kind of re-energize the magnetism on your bit. And there you see you can pick up screws nice and easily. Right, so the CD DVD unit should now be free to move around, and what we'll find is that there's a couple of plugs. I think there's 1 plug and 1 ribbon under there. So if I put this in a position that you can see. Okay, now so in there we have these white wires that are all bound together that go into a sort of 15mm wide plug. That plug needs to come out. The white bit comes away from the beige bit. So we just get us film in there and just prise the plug out. That's that one free, and now we're left with this ribbon. Now to open that up, we just lift up this brown section. It will pivot back like so, and then we can pull the ribbon out. And there we are. There is our drive out. Okay, so as I say, for the sake of £19, I'm just going to discard this unit and put a new one in. Okay, so here's the new unit. So we're going to put it back together in the reverse manner of how we took it apart. So first thing to do is to get this ribbon back in there. So let's prise up the brown tab that allows the ribbon to be put in. There we go, so the ribbon's in, let's hold it in place, push the brown tab down, and there we are, good connection. Now the tricky bit is getting this white plug back in because it's a little bit short on any slack. So you just have to persevere the best you can. There we go, that's that in. And we just place it all back down flat and seat the drive over the little mounting points, making sure that the rubber boots sit properly. And there we are. That is the unit back in, and let's put those screws back in. The front ones are trickier because you have to drop them through these holes. There we go, that's done, that's in. Right, let's get the metal heatsink cage back on and figure out which way it went. Okay, so on the metal heatsink there are cutouts on this side that correspond with the 4 jack inputs on the left hand side and no cutouts on this side, so that's how you can work it out. And let's just drop it back down. Okay. Right, it would be prudent at this point to have a little look around and see if there's any excessive dust in any of this anywhere. If you've got access to an air hose to blow it out, that'd be great. If not, just get in there with a little pick and take as much of the debris out as possible and give it a blow, you know, because these do attract a lot of dust. So the worst of it is usually inside the mechanism for the DVD drive. But as we're disposing of that one, as it's not working properly, that's not a problem. So now to get the white casing back on. Didn't point out, but there's actually like a little black cage with some gauze across it that covers over some air vents there. That may or may not have dropped out. It's got some cutouts in the bottom of it that correspond to 2 little white protrusions in there, so they slide in and marry up. And it's just a question of getting it to stay in place when you put the casing back on. So there we go, we just drop it over. And that's it, that's on. Like so. And then we take the front unit and we offer it back in. There are 2 little tabs here and here through which screws past. You just need to make sure they slot into the right positions, and also just be conscious of what you're doing with these 2 wires here to make sure that they're not impeding this little grey tab, which is actually the back side of the eject button. So you don't want to get the wires caught in the wrong position. So we offer that on there and just feel to see whether your eject button is working properly. It should have a little click to it like that. and all of the other buttons. If it doesn't click, it's probably the wires are in the way. Right, so I've got the unit on its back, so the underside is facing upwards, and we're going to put those two black screws back in there to hold the front in place a bit. So I'm going to drop one in there, one in there, and these were tri-wing, were they? Yep, they were tri-wing. Okay, and put the rectangular white sticker back over. Offer it into place and push it down. And the same for this one here. Okay, now for the screws down in the two deep recessed holes. Okay, we can now put the rubber feet back over those two holes there. Okay, now flipping the unit back over, slots at the front, we're dealing with this side to the right of the slot, and let's put the screws back in here. So we had two Phillips heads at the top. And they are machine screw threads. If you remember rightly, that is where the metal cage heatsink went in. So I think you find those screws go through into that metal heatsink. So this is Phillips head. So let's put the little white stickers back over. Okay, now this screw hole here was a tri-wing, drop that in. And that has a coarser thread on it because that is going into a plastic housing. Okay, put the white sticker back over the top. Like so. And then the fine long black screw goes into this hole here. So, and that had a square rubber foot over it like that. Right, and the remaining tri-wing screw goes into this hole to the side of the coin battery slot. So tri-wing screw, screw that down, and then we can take our battery coin tray and slot it back down in there and screw that back into place. Okay, we can now flip over to the opposite side. Okay, and let's put in our tri-wing screw in the bottom hole there. So remember, the tri-wings went in at the bottom. Another tri-wing goes in this lower hole here. And then we had two Phillips headed machine screws, silver ones, went in that hole there and that hole there. Again, they will go through and screw into that metal heatsink cage. Like so. And now we can take our black cover, and it's the front edge slots in behind and underneath the front mechanism tray, not too far. You've got to try and line it up, and then the bottom edge clips in, and then we just put our very small screws back along the top. Now remember, of the 3 screws, one was longer. That goes at the front towards the CD entry bit. And let's screw that one in. And then the other 2 screws go in the middle and the back hole. Now when it comes to doing this screw here at the back, we're very close to these huge great slots, okay, so it would be very easy to drop your screw into there, and you may or may not be able to shake it back out, and you might end up having to take the whole thing back to pieces. So it might be prudent to cover those holes over with a bit of masking tape or something else you have laying around. So I'm just going to put that cover over there, so that in a clumsy moment I don't drop that screw. Right, so I've successfully done it. There we go. All screws back in. Now just to put these doors back on. So let's take the smaller door, drop it in, and then angle it forward. Just clips into place, and there we go, that's that one in. And then the longer door, push it in till it clicks like so, and there we are. All that remains is to go and plug it in and see if it actually works. Right, so here we are, the Wii is connected back up. Let's hit the power button. Okay, so it's communicating with the telly, that's all good. Let's take the Wii remote. Let's press button A. Okay, so the Wii definitely lives. Now it's a question of, will it take a disc? Oh, it's taking it nicely. Yes, it has recognised the Wii Sports disc. And then if I can actually... Right, okay, so if I select the Wii Sports, I would say that that was definitely working. So there you go, changing your DVD player in your Wii unit, 19 quid. The machine is effectively as good as new. Quite pleased with that. Give me a thumbs up, please be sure to like and subscribe, check out some of my other videos, and I'll see you after I've wasted a bit of time on the Wii. Ta-da!